Are you looking for a new football news app? I can't lie, that's a very odd thing to just say in normal conversation, but I mean, then you've got to make sure to check out One Football down in the description below for all of your news, whether you're a Barca fan, Liverpool fan, or an Alfreton. I don't know if it has them, I'm not gonna lie. Just download it anyway. So, hello there everyone, and welcome. It is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you a list of game modes that we all want to see in FIFA. And I don't mean just career mode, but I mean as in just obviously that how would you even have a game mode in another game mode? Generally speaking though, these are game modes that I've seen in the comment section a lot, and I've seen people talk about them a lot online, just generally, and you know, stuff that I think a lot of people would be interested in if it was added to FIFA. Whether it's this FIFA, or of course more likely the next one, or FIFA's well into the future. Now if you go on to enjoy the video, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. And let me know what you think about these ideas down in the comment section. And of course, if you've got any other game modes you'd like to see and you've wanted to see in FIFA since time began, drop them down there as well. First of all though, this is a big one. This is one that I see all the time. Owner mode on FIFA. In my opinion, would be very interesting. I think it'd be, in a sense, quite similar to actual Football Manager, apart from obviously the removal of the tactical element. I think everything else would be about the same. Hopefully it would be that detailed if it was going to be implemented, but I assume how this would work is you probably wouldn't play the games, and you'd be actually involved in running the club and the finances and stadium renovations and staff and all that sort of stuff. So it would be nice to see some of the elements that used to be in actual old school manager mode, like stadium renovations and, you know, new staff and stuff implemented if this was going to be a thing. The reality is it would probably be a game mode where all games were simmed, unless they wanted to mash it together, but at that point, is it a little bit too similar to career mode? Let me know what you think would be featured in an owner mode down in the comment section below, because I'm sure there is a lot of stuff they could do with it. You could set up affiliate clubs, you could deal with general finances, you could decide where your team goes on tour in pre-season, all that sort of jazz, sponsorship deals, boardroom matters, whatever you want to do, training facilities. I'm sure there's a lot of scope for features in a game mode such as owner mode, but again, would it be a little bit stale without the ability to play games? That at the end of the day is what FIFA is all about. Next up, and we've got a controversial one here, but it's one that's been talked about so many times, and I actually made a video on it back in the past talking about whether it would be a good idea on FIFA 19. You can check a link out to that in the top right of the screen. But referee mode on FIFA, I mean, it would be interesting. It would be more than interesting, I've got to say. Would it work online? Absolutely not. It would be absolute carnage, but would that make it more enticing? Would that make it more interesting and more fun to play? In my opinion, yes, to be honest with you. Obviously you wouldn't have it in competitive FIFA, in weekend league, in foot champions and all that sort of stuff, but I think if it was an offline feature, sorry, I think it would be absolutely hilarious. I cannot lie to you. Obviously there's got to be boundaries and limits to it. I don't think you'd want a linesman mode. I think that would get very boring very quickly, but it would be quite funny to have. So if we could get additions and improvements to existing game modes and a referee mode as well, I'm sure a lot of us would be happy to take that, because let's be honest, we all would kind of like to know what it's like to be a referee on FIFA. Street mode is the next one I want to talk about, and this is basically the implementation of FIFA Street and maybe futsal into FIFA as well. A lot of people have talked about that in the past and having futsal in FIFA. Personally, I think it'd be quite a cool idea. Maybe you could have this as a separate mode where you can, like, obviously it would work maybe with a new kickoff. Futsal mode, five-a-side mode, jumpers for goalpost mode, all of that sort of jazz. And you could actually have a street FIFA element. I know that sounds stupid, like FIFA Street did exist, but you could actually implement those old school FIFA Street vibes into actual FIFA. Realistically, are they going to do it? No, because it's a standalone series and it obviously would make EA more money to do the games as, you know, as they're separate entities. However, I personally think that would be massive for FIFA generally speaking. I think a lot of people would be very interested in that if they put it into the same game and did it well. That's the crucial part. The original FIFA Street games were absolutely awesome and the storylines to it were really good as well. Recent FIFA Street games, not so much. So they'd have to recapture those old Street vibes. Online career mode is one that I've talked about quite a lot in the past, so I won't go into it in a ridiculous amount of detail, hopefully, anyway. But again, it's one that people have talked about a lot, or even in a more simple format, co-op career mode, where you can literally collaborate with one other person and build a career mode team together. Maybe one person or player is the proper manager, and then the other one is the the assistant manager, more in charge of squad training and all that sort of jazz, and the other person, the actual manager, is more in charge of the transfers and sponsorship deals and all of that sort of stuff. Generally speaking, though, online career mode would be massive if you could actually have a league of all of your friends together. There was maybe games every night at a certain time and you'd play against each other online, but with your built-up career mode squads. Obviously, you'd have to probably have a fixed potential system if it was going to be a multi-season thing, which would obviously have to be, otherwise it's not really career mode. So unfortunately, you would have to have fixed potentials because players would have to have the same overalls on every person's game, if that makes sense. It's a different thing to Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team has fixed ratings, even if they're in inform, whereas obviously on career mode it does revolve around potential, so they would have to stay static across each person's save, if that makes sense. It's a difficult one to implement, yes, but it would revolutionize career mode. I was about to say offline gameplay, but that would literally make it online. Anyway, enough about that paradox. We'll carry on the same theme as career mode, but career mode draft I think would be very interesting. It's sort of a mashup of something that already, of course, exists in online FIFA and on Ultimate Team, but having it in career mode I think would be quite interesting as well. Obviously, you can make it happen yourself, but it's very time consuming, you know, picking random players and redistributing random players to other teams. But a draft format in career mode would make everything a lot less predictable as well. You could have different, you know, if it was going to be a draft across an entire league rather than just a draft for your own team, then that would make things ridiculously unpredictable. You'd have big teams going down and small teams getting promoted, and it might be just limited to your own team. It might be literally the draft format on Ultimate Team and then implemented onto career mode. I think both of them would work quite well. Free roam mode is the penultimate one, and this is something I think everyone's wanted for absolutely ages. I see so often in the comments, what if FIFA mashed up together with GTA, or what if Rockstar made FIFA? A, it would not be Peggy 3. B, I think it would actually be very interesting. Would it work? I don't know, but I think having a situation like The Journey with a free roam aspect as well would actually be insanity. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, that would actually be mental. If that happened, I would not, like, it sounds stupid, it sounds sad, but I would actually not be able to contain myself. That's actually mad. Having a GTA FIFA mashup, can you actually imagine? You could just go out and buy your own boots or go and interact with people and go and live your actual life, not just your career out on the pitch. Obviously, The Journey had storylines and etc., but they were all written into it. A free roam aspect would make everything so different and diverse in each person's save, and it would allow for a humongous variety of things you could go out and do. Buying your own favourite car, having your own house, then your earnings at least mean something. Equally, it could all go wrong. You could get involved in the wrong people. Obviously not, you know, to a ridiculous extent. It's got to probably remain a Peggy 3 game, but you could obviously, you know, go down in attributes or go down in form based off your actions off the pitch as well as on the pitch. Finally, a player mode Journey mashup at the very least, if free roam was not, you know, a possibility. Just generally the opportunity to customize and make your own player and then have them over a multi-season time period with the storylines of The Journey, I think would be quite revolutionary as well. When we heard The Journey was coming, obviously we all thought, oh yeah, we can create our own players and we're going to have this ultimate customization and it'll be over loads of seasons. Wasn't the case. The storyline went over 3 seasons, but on 3 different FIFAs. I think being able to have player career mode with the storylines of The Journey would at least revitalize that part of the game mode. I did a video recently on the stupid things in player mode, and there's plenty of them. You can check it out in the top right of the screen. I think at least having this sort of scenario would negate some of those. Obviously, they do need to be fixed as well. The rating system is ridiculous. It's broken completely, but at least you'd have something to distract yourself from that rather than just playing games, because that's what player career is right now. There's no third dimension to that game mode whatsoever. It's just playing games and not really being rewarded for it. At least if it's coupled up with storylines or things that can happen over multiple seasons, it makes it a little bit more worthwhile. Anyway, that's going to wrap up today's video, giving you 7 game modes that I think we all would like to see in FIFA, generally speaking. Obviously, we want current game modes to be improved upon as well. Like, realistically, I don't want career mode to just die out. I would rather career mode improve than be able to be a referee, but these are still game modes that, on top of actual improvement on current game modes, I think would be welcomed by the FIFA community. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it, subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Yeah, you universe, no lie.